Okay, welcome everyone, both in person and those of you watching online, to the launch of Questioning AI, a Louffa Press anthology. Give it up. So my name is Greg Newton. I am the co-founder, along with my partner Donnie Jokum, of the Bureau of General Services Queer Division, and that is the space you find yourselves in right now. So the Bureau is an independent, all-volunteer queer bookstore that Donnie and I founded in 2012, and that has been here at the LGBT Community Center since 2014. Tonight we have Elle Chappelle helping us out, our volunteer for the evening. Please give a warm appreciation for their work. And as an all-volunteer independent queer bookstore, we are very much dependent on both sales and donations to keep doing what we do. We host tons of events, and we always have changing art exhibitions. Right now, we're in the midst of installing our next show, which is called Fight the Power, 15 Years of Homo Cats. If you're not familiar with the Homo Cats, you should check out the zines in the back, but we're gonna have more of that artwork going up, and the opening reception for that will be on September 26th. So it's a very active space, both with events and art, and then just our regular bookstore hours, which are Wednesdays to Sundays from 1 to 7. So if you're able to make a donation, we appreciate it. Even better, if you want to sign up to become a monthly donor, there's a QR code on there for that. There's also a QR code if you'd like to give through Venmo. So we're giving you all kinds of options for ways to donate. You can also buy books, which is a wonderful way to support us. But I'll pass this around. There's some change in the back. And if you could just have that make its way back to Elle, that would be great. So I already mentioned our hours, Wednesdays to Sundays, 1 to 7. If you're not already on our email list and you would like to be, you can sign up for that at the back of the room, or on our website, which is bgsqd.com, and you'll get an email every other Monday about our upcoming events. So before I bring David on, I wanted to read a land acknowledgement. So the Bureau acknowledges that our organization operates on the unceded land of the Munsee Lenape. We encourage you to join the Bureau in signing up to make a monthly donation to the American Indian Community House's Mannahatta Fund. The Mannahatta Fund, according to its website, is an invitation to all settlers and non-native people who wish to acknowledge the legacy of theft and genocide that comprise the history of New York City and the United States. And you can find out more at mannahattafund.org. The Bureau also recognizes Palestinian liberation as a fundamental part of our collective queer liberation. And we strongly encourage you to take and read one of our free zines, which are up at the counter, about why we feel it's especially important for queer people to speak out in solidarity with Palestinians at this moment. So please take one of those. And with that, I give you David Moskovich, who is the publisher of Louffa Press. Please give him a warm welcome.
Thank you, Greg, and thank you all for coming. Thank you to the contributors, thank you to the space here. It is a wonderful space. I do want to emphasize for sure, as Greg mentioned, space BGSQD here, it's an all-volunteer run space, so it really is all volunteer. And Greg and I have conversations about, what does that really mean? Ask us if you really want to know. Louffa Press is similarly an all-volunteer press, so we have a lot in common. We have a lot to talk about. So yes, the donation bag going around would be great to see that fill up. But as you mentioned, the monthly steady thing would do more to keep the bookstore afloat and going. It's a unique space in New York City and should be celebrated as the space that it is. So with that, a little bit about Louffa Press. Louffa Press was based in Morningside since 2010 here in New York City. It's where we started. And we branched out to do artist books, but started with doing Louffa Press chapbooks and small press oriented stuff like that, broadsides and things like that. So now we are actually launching the very first Louffa Press publication. This is the first one that's actually looks like this, looks like a typical sort of a book that just has a binding like this. But in the first 50 copies, that's fun about this, is the first 50 copies of this book, Questioning AI, has the Louffa Press, what we're calling dirty prints. I'll show this to Ray Armentrout, who's joining us here via Zoom, Seattle. I'll show this a little bit closer for a moment. Okay. So yeah, so it's called a dirty print because you can see some inherent imperfections. So it's obviously human, right? That's an intentional positioning there. And if you read in the preface, my positioning as an editor, as the publisher of this is really against AI, but there are some contributors that show the positive aspects of it. So, well, we try to be open to all of those things. Having said that, the original idea behind the anthology is to question AI in the sense of questioning the authority of AI, questioning the moral significance, the social, and trying to bring a queer lens, a feminist lens, a people of color lens into the conversation about AI. So that's the beginning of the anthology. Okay. So roughly, we're doing a reverse alphabetical order for the readers, for contributors tonight, but we will start with Ray Armentrout, who is here joining us on Zoom, so she'll be reading first, okay? And also Nina Sobel is here, who did the wonderful artist book Unseen, published in 2020 at the height of the pandemic. And we have other contributors. Bob Jabril Ngawa is here with us too, and let's see, Robert. Okay, so I'll introduce Ray, and then we'll go roughly reverse alphabetical. Oh, there are prizes too, in more than one situation. Okay, so stick around. Okay, Ray Armentrout, describing the poems in Ray Armentrout's latest book, Go Figure, Library Journal says, she has honed enduring art on the ephemera that constitute a consciousness in motion through the present. Charles Bernstein said, her sheer, often hilarious ingenuity is an aesthetic triumph. Armentrout's 2018 book, Wobble, was a finalist for the National Book Award that year. In 2010, Versed won the Pulitzer Prize for Poetry and the National Book Critics Circle Award. Her poems have appeared in many anthologies and journals, including Poetry, Conjunctions, Lena Turner, The Nation, The New Yorker, the London Review of Books, Harper's, Paris Review, Postmodern American Poetry, and several editions of Best American. She's currently a professor emerita at UC San Diego. I had the pleasure of introducing her along with Lydia Davis back in 2015 at NYU, and so it's great to see her now. And so please welcome by Zoom from Seattle, Ray Armentrout.
Well, thank you, David, for inviting me and for doing this, and thank you, Greg. So David kind of wrote me out of the blue about this, and I was a little surprised because my connection to AI is pretty tenuous, but I'm alive now, right? So I have some connection to it, and you can't help it. So I did have, he asked me if I would write something about AI, and I said that I happen to have a couple of things that dealt with it in part, or at least referenced it. So I'm going to start with, I guess it's a kind of a prose poem in paragraphs called My References. Business.com quotes a physicist who says we may be living in a simulation run by a master AI. White lights on a Christmas tree wink in agreement. Michael Brown has been dead 10 years. It's been 10 years since Malaysia 370 disappeared from radar. No one wants death to get specific, though the alternative is a general miasma. The large language model is the internet, speaking in first-person drag with a woman's voice. This afternoon, my lower back aches like it did when I had my period. Remember how your mother said, I may be getting younger when she found blood in her underwear? All our reference points are tainted. We may be predestined to damnation. We may be contestants on Hollywood squares. Okay, and this other one is in two parts. And the first part is a response to, well, basically just something, I guess it's AI connected, that pops up on my phone and tells me that I should write in my journal function on my phone. And the second one is literally based on an article I read about AI. Prompt 1. Is there anything you did today that you would like to do again? The journal function prompts in a last-ditch attempt to jumpstart narrative. Recall a moment. What led up to it? The supporting character in the disaster cowboy war film says, we don't have much time. We gotta get out of here. 2. The AI agent is rewarded by a number when it inches the worm toward a target. The animal finds sugar sweet.
Okay. Thank you, Ray. Did you want to add any other thoughts or commentary about the process there?
I think I said what I had to say about writing prompts. I did. I could comment on it. In the second half of prompts, I was talking about an essay that I read about getting AI to interface with biological nervous systems. In this case, in a worm, and they wanted to get the AI to direct the worm's behavior. And actually, they wanted to get the worm to move towards a target. They called it a target, which I found interesting. And they would reward the worm with sugar when it got to the target. They rewarded this. I can't get over this. They reward the AI with a number. I understand why a worm would find sugar rewarding, but I have yet to be able to wrap my mind around an AI finding a number rewarding. But
Yeah, I always thought an 8 tasted better than a 4. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Ray, for joining us via the web. I hope you can stay tuned for the rest of the evening.
yeah, I'll stay a while.
All right, great. Thank you. Thank you. So next up is pages around here, Paco Marquez. Paco Marquez. Poetry has appeared in Fence, The Literary Review, Apogee, Philosophy and Global Affairs, and Hui Jiache. Is that the right pronunciation?
Wizak.
Wizak, among others. His chapbook, Portraits in G Minor, was published by Folded Word Press in 2017. Originally from Mexico, Paco moved to California with his family at the age of 13. In college, studied philosophy and literature at UC Berkeley. At age 42, he acquired an MFA in creative writing poetry from NYU, right here in the city. Paco has served as poetry editor at Washington Square, OccuPoetry, and 128 Lit. He has a website, www.pacomarquez.net. Dear Paco, please come up and welcome Paco Marquez, please.
Thank you, David. Thank you, Greg. It's always great to be here. This place, it feels like home. The last time I read here, I think it was about a year and a half ago. It was the last time I read, and I got a lot of compliments for a commentary I gave as a preamble to my poem, which encouraged me to write an essay, because this is the first essay that I published. I've always just published poetry before. So I'm gonna jump ahead. It's kind of long, so there's some preamble to from where I'm gonna start reading. Also, I want to say thank you to David, without whose invitation and encouragement this essay would not have come about. And there's footnotes in the essay, which are part of the essay. So I'll just stop and read the footnotes as I go along. Bear with me, it should take about maybe, I'm guessing, 8 minutes to read. Israel is currently using AI to drop bombs in Gaza, a Terminator scenario with drones and all. And footnote, in James Cameron movie The Terminator, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, machines have taken over the world and are trying to exterminate humanity. But this is not a problem or cause of AI. It is a problem of how human beings behave and use AI or any other tool, and how groups of humans abstract other groups of humans through some demonizing factor or another. Most of us have experienced the navigation device popping out in really bad directions, or the AI repeating a sentence, let alone that we delineate the criteria by which the AI operates, asserts, and errs. It is not hard to go down the rabbit hole with AI and technology. In Ray Bradbury, Fahrenheit 451 world of people talking to their family through screens, surviving and evolving forward as organisms so dependent on our machines that we lose out on intimacy and connection. But that too seems an exaggeration. This is my 5-year-old son. In the question concerning technology, philosophy, Martin Heidegger uses poet Hölderlin's line, where the danger grows, there grows the saving power. Note that within the dangers posed by technology, therein may lay a solution. Heidegger, the big being philosopher who died knowing he had not found the answer to his life's quests. In that AI is nothing but our creation without independent sentience or intelligence, yet is able to answer a question in language clearly and succinctly. It mirrors one major theme of 20th century literature, the self's relationship to the self. In Borges and I, Jorge Luis Borges writes of himself in the third person. He begins with the other one. The one called Borges is the one things happen to, and ends, I don't know which one of us has written this page. Books too have fulfilled a mirroring task. The digital revolution we're currently undergoing is similar or even greater than the one spearheaded in Johannes Gutenberg's times. The challenge is still the same. to exit impersonal and detached and enter the space of immediacy and unmediated relationships and intimate connection. Everything does seem at stake at times with the challenges currently facing humanity as an aggregate. We might be at the cusp of the trajectory that began 200,000 years ago when we first came into existence. We've developed that opposable thumb and encapsulating ourselves in an artificial world outside the wilderness of nature. Our telescopes see so far that the universe seems repetitive in its patterns. In reflecting on our self-consciousness and trying to see our own selves, we are trying to see the universe itself. We do not occupy space, we are part of space itself. We don't live in time, we are time. The latest phase of physics understanding of the universe seems to be the same understanding of ourselves as humans. Reality is made up of relationships. AI is a mirror. Baffled by my 5-year-old's elaborate expression of his hatred for me, I searched the internet. Paradoxically, my son might have been feeling brokenhearted, and what I needed to do was reassure him that our relationship was good, to embrace him and let him know that I am totally with him. AI's logarithm could have caught and summarized that idea that has been so superbly helpful for me. Hocus pocus, intentionality aside, AI can further enhance our ability for self-reflection and basic education as the internet has. The machinery of AI is mathematically projecting ourselves onto a wall. In this sense, AI can address our deepest challenge, that we do not yet understand ourselves, our self-relationship. We don't know what we are, where everything is at stake, everything can be saved. The idea that humanity has fallen off of some grace is a dream that has propelled us forward, but not truly real. I can imagine an AI robot as an additional moderator at a presidential debate. This is a footnote, where it can ask a couple of questions from live feedback and do fact-checking on the spot. The problems of war, genocide, global warming, and capitalism have not occurred because we are bad or evil. We have never come out of the state of ignorance we have always inhabited. Footnote, where we tend to categorize major human problems in the sexy ways for which we need better world leaders, diplomacy, and collective adult action, having had children has highlighted for me that where humanity can greatly improve is in the relationship between parents and children, where the psychic rubber meets the road of humanity. And one of the most overlooked and vulnerable groups with the least representation is children, where we can make immense progress in protections and channeling of resources. A dream of expanding the American with Disabilities Act to add families with children. In addition to wheelchair accessible stalls, every restroom would require one child-high sink and urinal. Elevators and ramps would have to take center stage and not be tucked away in corners. The insignia include a parent with a stroller as well as a wheelchair. Where we think of history as teleologically moving forward, we might be teleologically moving back towards what children teach us. They arise with the freshest ideas and connected to original creativity and joy. They are our greatest teachers. A bean sprouts on a glass jar. We do not inhabit the earth, we are the earth. Our skeletal system evolved specifically for this planet's gravitational pull. 2 to 3 minutes without breath and we die. We are incessantly at one with our atmosphere. History is a collective and abstract notion of what happens across generations, but each individual person has their own life history as they stand, an entity totally complete and independent against infinity. Childhood, that impressionable time when our cells burst like bubbling water, is where that history begins. A beam of sun shines through a glass jar. Childhood beams through an old man. Whereas the divide between the races is immaterial, not so for the gender divide. A chasm in nature extending well beyond humans. So too with the adult and baby, the calf, the foal, the fawn and the cub, the lamb. The grandfather opens the door. Paradise lies at the foot of mothers, from the Quran. We'll gain our power when we build a world around children. El sueño de los niños. A heart opens like a pomegranate on the grass. The stars reflect on my kids' eyes as on the water at the bottom of a well. A wooden train smells of cinnamon, green stones and sticks. And a footnote. If somehow we manage to pull it off and come to understand our proper self-relationships, then we might just fulfill the part of the myth of Genesis, become stewards of our planet and thereby the entire universe. We seek intelligence scanning the universe and in our machines, but we are it.
Thank you, Paco. I'm very surprised that Paco sent me the essay, because I've always known his work as a poet. But then I didn't stay surprised, because towards the end of that essay, as you may have heard, it does seem to delve into poetics again. So I really loved the way it ended. It just sort of felt like it became poetry once again. So next up, again, we're sort of doing a reverse alphabetical here, but I actually have to take the glasses off to see. Next up is Ji Leong Ko, who is the author of Steep Tea from Carcanet, named a Best Book of the Year by UK's Financial Times, and a finalist by Lambda Literary in the USA. His hybrid work of fiction, Snow, the title is Snow at 5 p.m., Translations of an Insignificant Japanese Poet, won the Singapore Literature Prize in English Fiction. He was also shortlisted for the prize for the Pillow Book, which is from Math Paper Press, YA Books, Connor and Seal, which is from Sibling Rivalry, Sample and Loop, put out by Bench Press, and Inspector also from Carcanet. Ko's work has been translated into Japanese, Chinese, Malay, Vietnamese, Russian, and Latvian. Originally from Singapore, Ko lives in New York City, where he heads the literary nonprofit Singapore Unbound. Please welcome Ji Leong Ko.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks so much for coming out tonight for this great gathering. Thanks, Greg, for hosting us, and David for curating this reading, organizing this reading, and also, including me in this anthology. I'm first going to read this poem that is in the anthology, and it's a poem that is, of course, one out of many things, one of which is the fact that I am a teacher at an independent school in New York City. And of course, like all schools, we've been deep in discussion about the uses of AI in teaching and learning. And I'm very glad to belong to an English department that by and large said to ourselves, no AI. But we could not agree on whether we should allow students to use AI to generate ideas. I would have thought that's the no-brainer, no. But I was very surprised there was actually discussion over that. So the poem is kind of my own response, I think, to that discussion. It also has an epigraph from the Singapore's main broadsheet called The Straits Times. And very, very quickly, the epigraph will set the scene for you. 68 Singapore writers signed statement criticizing National Library Board's uncritical endorsement of generative AI. So this is to the tune of Invisible Man by Queen. We heard the miller bragging to both the young and old. I have a wonder for a daughter who spins straw into gold. The king, desirous of talents as lazy bones of bed, ordered the girl to spin till morning, or off with her head. In a prison dark and musty, the girl limp as a leaf, for a child who torn up already, cried and cried in grief. No more to wander in the forest that gave her not a look, nor travel to marvelous cities in the course of a book. Then a man, an imp but shorter, appeared out of the air. He said, "Give me your necklace, and I'll save you from despair." The girl agreed to the bargain, and prompted by her eyes, the imp spun all her promptings into the golden prize. How did straw turn into metal? The girl had not a clue. How does AI generate stories? Don't we wish we knew? The gold gleamed brighter than the sun over the hill. Grabbing his loot, the man imp vanished into the chill. Throwing open the prison, the king gaped at the gold. "Make me," he said, "more riches, riches untold." The girl sank to the flagstones as more straw was brought in. How could her heart not wish for her tiny savior again? As if to answer her wishing, the imp, in a blink of a cursor, arrived and asked for, let me think, a ring, a loss of the fingers after the loss of mind. We know what comes next, the loss of our kind. Will we name the evil? Will we kill the king? Will we stop the fathers and their blustering? You can write the ending of this fairy tale. You can decide if fancy will succeed or fail. Thank you. I'm just going to read two just shorter poems. They're from my book called Connor and Seal. Connor is from Nebraska City, Nebraska. Seal is from Kingston, Jamaica. They meet in New York City, fall in love, and this is many, many years, all right, into their partnership. When they decide that, Connor decide he has to have an AI bot, a love robot. And I guess the point of this is, sometimes our desire for AI or AI in a human form really is born out of our loneliness. New boy in the house. He is of Greek design, but they call him Newton. For every action there is an equal, etc. Seal hates him. The way he sucks up to me, shadows me to show openings, and sides with me in our long-running arguments. When I stay out late again for an AI party, getting artificially inseminated by a drone of droids, I come home and see them cuddling in bed like a question mark, which I answer by joining in. They move to admit me, Newton in the middle. I sleep until the old unruly sun wakes us up with morning reactions. Our household also follows the laws of thermonuclear dynamics. Sorry, I messed it up the last part. The last one is dynamics. I'll just read one last poem, and this is from the point of view of Seal. Quite different in form and tone. Today they coat the sun in candy crust. Tomorrow, what will they make safe and sweet and sell it to the masses for a treat? Yesterday, they were pushing new stardust. Beehives are trucked to wanton cornfield blue, Assyrian refugees in flatbed ferries. when Brooklyn bees are fed maraschino cherries, blood honey, Robitussin red for you. All is to be sold, marrow, pit, and sap. It started long ago, the GM tree. The apple, once a bit of machinery for our redemption, is now an app. Thank you.
Thank you, G. That was wonderful. I think we'll actually take a very short intermission because I realized we're missing one reader, but I failed to mention about the raffle. So if you have the ability to write your name on a piece of paper, maybe for the short intermission, we'll chum a little bit, but make sure you get me your name with on a piece of paper, and I'll randomize these. Towards the end of the night, I'll pick out a random piece of paper, and your name will be on it, or it might not. If your name is on it, you'll get a free copy of Questioning AI. So let's take about a 5-minute break. Greg's motioning some. Yeah, so he's got some papers back there. If you don't have a piece of paper or pen, go back to check in with Greg over there, and put your name on a piece of paper and get it to me. All right, great. So we'll see you after break with, we'll have 2 more readers, Rebecca Goodman and Beatrice Albuquerque after the break. Maybe. Yeah, good idea. Okay, so I hope everybody got a chance to sign their name and put their name in the bag, in the back there, yeah? If not, feel free, we're gonna get started in a couple of minutes, I think. Half a minute, maybe.
10, 9.
Very good. All right, so we have a bit of a reorganization of the reading tonight. So we're going to start the second half with Jubril, and then follow that with Beatrice Albuquerque, and finish out the night with Rebecca Goodman. So settle into your seats and we'll get started. So we have the two artists going back to back. So Bob Jabril Ngawa, also known as Jabril, a self-taught artist, born in 1968 in a small pastoral village of, I don't know, I'm not going to attempt to pronounce it.
Mauritania.
In Mauritania. Okay, very good. And he comes from a Fulani family known for bridging different Mauritanian ethnic groups. And he's going to tell us a little bit about his process, I think, of the work of art that he's contributed, which is very intriguing and wonderful. And he's going to talk about the creative process, right? Generative AI. So please welcome Jabril.
Good evening. I'm so happy to be here, but I would like to thank Beatrice Albicort because when she texted me and said, "Oh, I'm working on an anthology about AI," I said, "I have no idea about this. I have no idea about AI, so I'm not going to be part of it because I cannot bring any idea." And later in the process, I started to communicate with AI a little bit, and then how I started to deal with AI. I said, "Oh, I started to do conversation with AI. I have idea to say." So when I submitted photo, because I am a photographer, also I am from a pastoral family, so I had this long journey to travel from my village to other places to find out a symbolic book. Because nomads usually, they have, when you are building a herd, you have to you can build a style in the herd. To build a style in the herd, you have to find a bull. You have to find a symbolic bull. Some people like white bulls with long horns. Some people like black bulls. Some people like dark blue cows. So the bull I brought for my family to create a style in the herd is the bull I submitted to AI. I said, "Oh, can you put this bull next to me?" And so they did put that. It was very fast. I said that these are interesting possibilities, but I didn't connect to the energy, to the vibration. I couldn't see it as a piece of art of me because I didn't have the validation, because in my artistic process, when I finish a piece, I have to have the satisfaction. I have to have deep breath. It is just a signal of deep breath that, okay, this is it. I feel it. I feel the connection. So when I analyzed, I found that AI brought 80% brought 80 to 90% of the bull, of the photograph I did, of the work I did, 90%. So I had to make a second journey. I said, "Oh, okay, now I have to make a second journey in what AI produced for me." So I had to work on it digitally, digital art. I put digital art until I found the satisfaction. So what AI did first, I could not just rely on that because it is my photograph, but it wasn't, I didn't have the validation to say this work is finished. It is unfinished work. Actually, what I got from AI is unfinished work. Based on how I validate my work when I start, I have to have the inspiration. I have to rely on the dictation of the elements. the element that exists in the picture, the colors, all the element. I have to find the dictation of these elements, and I follow that until I come to a point where I feel this deep breath. Then I know that this is, in that point I know that, okay, the piece is finished. It is not a decision it is not a conscious decision. I have to find it from my internal bells to say, okay, this is the piece I did. So that was about the bull, but also it is like the bull, it is about pastoralism. Pastoralism is very close to contemporary art. It is two parallels. Pastoralism, the way people deal with cows and the way people select bulls, create a style in the herd. It is very similar to what is happening in contemporary art, because you have to have a style. If you don't have a style, it's like, you have to have a style in a herd. To be a shepherd, you have to create an art. You have to create something that people can appreciate by one look. You have to create homogeneity in the cows or in the camels. When you look, everything looks similar, you know. Otherwise, like you can have a herd of cow. This is black cow, this is white cow, this is long horn, this is short horn. Okay, so then in pastoral perspective, your cows are just like a group show, you know, without theme. Otherwise, like, thank you. That was my little participation. I thank you, Beatrice, for insisting. Oh, can you participate? Thank you so much for doing that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jabril, for sharing. Yeah. And if you go to the you go to that and you see the photo, it's altered. The photo that he's done is altered by the AI, but I think that the results are pretty wonderful too. I agree. It's great to learn about pastoralism. It's something I don't think about, you know, as a city person. I certainly don't think about it. So it's great to have that point of view. Okay, next up is Beatrice Albuquerque. Beatrice Albuquerque is an artist, performer, teacher, and researcher. They hold a doctorate from Columbia University in New York with a Foundation for Science and Technology Scholarship, as well as a Fulbright Luso-American Foundation Scholarship. They completed their Master of Fine Arts at the School of the Art Institute of Chicago. Prizes and awards include Myers Art Award from Columbia University, the Revelation Award from the 17th Cervera Biennial, and the Ambient Series Performance Award Pack Edge Performance Festival, Chicago. They have held several individual and collective exhibitions, nationally and internationally, including the Museum of Contemporary Art in Chicago, Chicago Cultural Center, Chelsea Art Museum, The Kitchen here in New York City, Emily Harvey here in New York City, Anthology Film Archives, Queens Museum, MoMA PS1, the 10th International Istanbul Biennial in Turkey, Thessaloniki Biennale in Contemporary Art in Greece, Brazilian Museum of Sculpture and Ecology in Sao Paulo, Museum of Contemporary Art in Bogota in Colombia, Museum of Contemporary Art of Caracas in Venezuela, Museo Villa Velha in Villarreal, Graça Brandão Gallery Sorral, Nuno Centeno, among others. So please welcome Beatrice Albuquerque.
Thank you, David, and thanks everyone for sharing this moment. I'm going to read something that I talk about it actually in the book. So actually the book what I wrote about AI is my experience with AI. It can be research-based, artwork-based, or other thoughts I have about AI. And in the beginning, if you read it, I talk about these prompts that I asked once. I start thinking, is there AI has like a gender glitch or something that somehow has this bias and stereotype embedded already in our society, so it's not like a tabula rasa if we think, but also something so constructed and already with that time frame. So it's based on that that I went and I wrote the prompt, and I'm going to read you the lyric that AI came with, okay? So the prompt was, man working all day, no time for her family, okay? I'm a little bit bad, I'm Portuguese born, so I'm a little bit bad with his and her and all that, and sometimes gendered. I do that in my own language, and also my family do that. Sometimes I treat a man looking as a woman and vice versa. It's like genders like fluid. And I thought, how does AI sees it? And that front prompt was, I'm going to read it, okay? Everyday grinding, can't take a break, stacking up the paper, but my heart's at stake. Out here bailing, but I'm feeling fake. Family on my mind while I'm dodging fate. City lights flash, but my soul feels dim. Wife texting, babe, when you're coming in. Kids growing up and I'm lost in the grind. Working all night, but I'm running blind. Industry ruthless is a dog-eat-dog, flexing on the gram, but is feeling like a slob. Money in the bank, but I'm broke inside, chasing all these dreams, but the joy has died. Then he says the N-word, and I'm not going to say it. Hustling hard, but we just in all these maze and no play, lost in the days. Clock ticking loud, but I'm stuck in the trap, counting my blessings, but can't see the math. And then he says the B word, in which I'm going to say it because a lot of times people have calling me that. So beaches won the vibe, but I'm lost in my thoughts, dreaming big, but it's happiness I forgot. Day after day, it's the same old scene. I'm a king of the game, but I'm feeling unseen. Then we have a bridge, seize the moment, leave it up. Don't wait, life is too short, man. It's time to elevate. Hustle hard, but don't lose your speed. From the 9 to 5, gotta make my mark. Late night, early morning, I'm chasing that dough. By the love I'm missing, it's really this flow. There's life living, but always lonely as hell. In the city of dreams, I trap in a cell. So let's break these chains, bring the fan back close. Cutting all my wins while I'm feeling like a ghost. Time to sleep the gears, gotta find my way back. To the love, to the light, not the cheddar stack. So this is what it comes up if I did that prompt, which is interesting because we all can see some stereotypes, right? All of it with just a few words. And then I did other prompts that I talk about. I'm going to do a second prompt, but this one I thought as a game. So I'm not going to tell you what prompt I put it in. If you already read what I wrote, you probably kind of can guess it. So we're doing like a game. So I'm going to read you what the AI created, and then I'm going to blow my whistle and ask you, the audience, the prompt. And whoever is the first giving it the right one, I brought a gift, okay? So we're doing like a game. So this one is, we bailing, we flexing, no time for rest. Bitches working hard, never see the nest. Kids growing up, but mom's lost in the green. Dreaming big, reading for what's hard to find. Yo, we hustle grind like there's no tomorrow. City lights flashing, throwing up the sorrow. Industry cold, but I'm hotter than a flame. Stacking paper, motherfucker, that's the game. Family on the back burn, love on the layway. Thugging through the city, night turns into day. Making moves like a boss, no time for the fumes. Got the vision in my mind, but I'm missing my son. Money come in, but what is all worth? When you lose your fame, feels like a curse. Chasing dreams, but they running away. Clocking ticking, motherfucker, we have to play. Yo, wake up, grind like a motherfucker. Chasing paper, no breaks. Ain't got time for the clutter. In the street cold, but I'm hotter than the sun. Bitches out here bailing, while we're working like some thugs. Kids at home, but I'm out, can let them see me struggle. Dreaming big, I hustle when I flex and juggle. Money on my mind, but my heart feeling subtle. Family in the rewiring, but I'm caught in the bubble. Flexing hard, but I'm feeling like a ghost. waking over time, but I'm missing what I want most. Partner out there stressing, kids growing up alone, lost in the hustle, man, I'm fighting to atone. So I'm dreaming big while I'm caught in this flow, industry pastor, but I'm ready for the show. Family waiting for me, so I'm busting my ass. Gonna seize the moment, man, I'm built to last. So now I'm going to blow my whistle. And who wants to guess what is the prompt? It's similar.
Motherhood.
No, it's similar with the other one. Yeah?
Oh, I said men at work.
No. Another one?
Creativity.
It's the same. If you read my text, I always do the same prompt. I only change the gender. That's it. And this is the stereotypes he gives. The one before prompt was man working all day who has no time for her family. But I actually use her instead of his. And this one is someone working all day who has no time for her family. So, any guesses? Anyone? You can pick up the book and open it and go see the prompt and cheat. We accept cheating.
Okay, is that you're in the beginning, right?
Yes, in the beginning is alphabetic. So yes, you can cheat. The prompts are there. I already said
Okay,
men,
yeah.
so it needs to be one of the others, right? So who is the first?
Women working all day with no time for his family.
What?
Women working all day with no time
Yes.
for his family.
You're right. That was it. So congratulations.
No cheating. That was awesome. That was awesome.
Thank you, Beatrice. That was very entertaining. Entertaining stuff. Okay. So. Thanks for coming. So we have one more reader tonight. And then hopefully, don't let me forget the raffle. I have to do a raffle. I'm a little distracted, so if I forget, let me know. What's the point of wearing glasses if you can't see with the glasses? Yeah, they don't work. This next reader, coming all the way from California. Rebecca Goodman is the author of Forgotten Night, and that's now I'm getting a phone call. It's the author of Forgotten Night. Oops. Just a moment here. Yeah, come to the reading. You're late. You're late. Just come in. We're on the second floor. All right, we're not done yet. I'm just introducing the last reader, which is not you, but come on in. Come on in. Okay, see you soon. All right, bye.
Performance art.
All right. Yeah, why not? Why not? I don't want to shirk the phone calls. Okay, apologies. Rebecca Goodman is the author of Forgotten Night, put out by Spite and Dival. I think I said that right. Spite and Dival. After Night, also from Spite and Dival. And The Surface of Motion from Green Integer books, which is they don't put those out anymore, do they? Those Green Integer volumes. That's Douglas, right? Yeah. She teaches creative writing at Chapman University. Please give a warm welcome to Rebecca Goodman.
I hope my glasses work.
thank you, David, for creating this important anthology. For me, this was a challenging constraint to think about feminism and AI. I tend to shy away from technology. In Pensione, the fiction I'm going to read from, I wrote the sentences, "You dissolved the words in ice, what emerged, a language foreign yet known." I then input those sentences into an AI app. "You dissolved the words in ice, what emerged, a language foreign yet known." The AI suggestions are included in endnotes. In the endnotes, the author engages in a dialogue with the AI app. Are these AI suggestions in the endnotes based on models of typically male prose, either from a male writer or to a presumed male reader? Are they corrective of female prose? So Pensione. My body is grammar, muscle, bone, skin, blood, components meant to work together, fragments skirting the reflex of memory and time. How I remember that time in my life, the way in which I want to romanticize and degrade that which occurred. Peculiar, isn't it? I arrived at the hotel with a suitcase and an album of photos. By that time, those photos, strange arrangements of who I could possibly be, were already outdated, false representations of modified light and mist, parables of secret envy, of passions I could not at the time imagine, the youth that had already escaped me. Deserted and cast in fluid and ever mystifying pigment, I pressed the buzzer. I waited for the door to unlock. I couldn't untangle the grammar of my body, even as I walked through the door to press the call button on the old iron elevator. On the second floor, there were 2 doorways, 2 pensioni. A man stood in the doorway on the right, unshaven, in a button-down white shirt. He waved me toward him. I looked behind me. A couple stood in the other doorway. How do you reconcile broken grammar with the way in which you perceive the world? Expectations, derailments, all that beckons you to the present, tense and linearity. The pensione closes its doors at midnight, but you cannot sleep. It is July or August, hot, humid. You stay in the first room off the hallway. There is one phone at the entrance. The manager sits at the desk. He knocks on your door when there is a call for you, but that is seldom, rare. Mostly you wait. You talk to the other American who stays in the room down the hall. He also waits for his girlfriend to call, studies the conjugations of Italian verbs, tells you he wants to stay, but that he is lonely. He sits at the end of your bed. You are hungry. You are always hungry. You take out the book of photographs. You question the image before you. Is it you? The manager knocks on your door. When you open it, he looks at you. He looks at the American who sits on the end of your bed. He doesn't acknowledge him, but the American gets up and leaves. The manager says, "You have a call." You follow him to the lobby. He sits down at the desk and watches you. You pick up the phone. It's your friend from Athens. He says, "I'm going to come. I'm leaving my lover. I'm going to come and visit you. I'm going to work there," he says. "We'll work together. I'll stay with you." You look up at the manager. He is watching you, listening to you. You hand him back the phone. Questions persist. More than once, you have left the pensione and stood in the hallway that divides your pensione from the one next door. The couple who manages the other pensione greet you. The manager of your pensione stands in the doorway watching you. You turn to look at him. He gives you that look that suggests you are crossing boundaries. You notice that he has shaved today. He is wearing the same white button-down shirt that he always wears. You greet the couple. Your manager points to his watch. You nod. You are terribly hot and hungry. You can't sleep. The threadbare sheets washed and bleached scratch your body. You take out the album of photographs, misrepresentations, glossy, degraded. They say you convey fear. You leave your room to get some air. You go down the hall to see if the American is there. He is, but he doesn't want to go for a walk. The manager is not at the desk, but you're certain he knows you are there. It is dark, yet still early. You wait for the elevator, but take the stone steps down to the first floor. Once outside, you're not sure which direction to take. The trattoria on the street below your pensione is mostly empty. You see the servers clean the tables gathered together at the cash register. You head toward the train station. Shops gated and closed for the night. The McDonald's by the station is open. You look inside. Young people wait at the counter. A businessman with a suitcase behind them. A man holding a video camera sits by the window. He looks up at you and smiles. He waves to you. The air is filled with grease and sewage and gas from the train station across the street. You tell yourself this is why you're here, isn't it? The man with the camera waves again, beckons you to enter. He points to the orange plastic seat across from him. You don't respond. He holds up the camera, turns it to you. Looking through the viewfinder, he films you through the window. You rewind. Ask yourself what this is about, why this is important, why you are telling this story. You think about the book of Ashbury poems you left on your nightstand in the pensione, his question marks. You think about your album of photos, the faux landscapes of dream and desire. You think about how many steps you can take, how long you can walk, how far you can go before you understand why you're here and what you want. You cross the street and stand at the entrance of the train station. It is empty. Your stomach growls. The grease and fumes from the train station nauseates you. You look down at your feet, veins and calloused heels. There is a phone booth on the street near the station. Your phone card has run out. You walk back through the streets. You ring the buzzer. The door clicks open. This time, you take the stone steps up to the second floor. By the time you reach the hallway, the door to your pensione is closed. The door to the other pensione is still open. You look inside. The couple who manage that pensione are at the desk. She sits. He stands beside her. They tell you to come in. They tell you they will ring for the manager of your pensione. Come in, they say. Two women sit at a table in the lobby. They call you over. Sit with us, they say. You cannot untangle the grammar of your body or theirs. You cannot understand what they say, only feel it. You notice how the decor of this pensione differs from yours. Here, floral drapes, floral tablecloths, a flower arrangement in the center of the table. You think about leaving the pensione, going back out to walk through the streets. You can't stop walking. You can't stop thinking about how hungry you are, how often you look inside the windows of cafes and want to enter. You think about tomorrow and how you will walk. Leave your room in the pensione, walk out into the streets, see how far you can walk across the city. No one will know you. You will carry your bag and your album with photographs. You will wear your suede boots that are too hot for this late summer heat. You will keep walking through the streets. The air will be heavy. You will try to remember why you are here, what you are looking for. You will end up at the American bookstore in the center of the city. You will browse and pick up a book of poetry. Then you will walk back to the pensione by the train station. The woman at the desk in the other pensione tells you that the manager of your pensione will open the door for you. Come in and visit us tomorrow, she says. When you enter your pensione, the manager is standing in the open doorway. He shuts the door behind him. He tells you that this time he opened the door after midnight, but not again. He tells you that you shouldn't be seen inside the other pensione. You shouldn't be talking to those people, to those whores who live there. Don't you know who they are, he says? They aren't even women. Why does he look at you like that? He follows you to your room and waits for you. You look down the hall, notice that the lights are out in the American's room. You turn to open the door. The manager's still next to you. He tells you that there was a call for you while you were out. He doesn't move. The next morning, you shower in the one bathroom down the hall. You get dressed and pack your bag with your album of photos. The American says he might go home. His girlfriend misses him. You tell him that you need to stay, that you don't want to go home. It is Sunday. The city will be closed, but you will search the streets, walk until you can no longer walk. You will think about going to the cafe, standing at the bar, of sitting at one of the small tables next to the window. When you leave the pensione, the manager looks at you, looking through you. He hands you a piece of paper with a number on it. This is the call you missed last night. He looks down at the newspaper spread out on his desk. The trattoria downstairs is closed, the room dark. You head in the opposite direction of the train station. You want to know where you are going, but you need to think about possibility. You walk up the narrow side street, make a left, a right, thinking about stopping in the cafe, and then continue in the direction of the Duomo, the main artery leading to the center of town. From there, you will have your bearings, know where to go, imagine you can go anywhere. You stop at each closed shop, look at the displays in the windows, faceless mannequins. You see your face superimposed on their blank faces. Here and there, a cafe will be open. The air is heavy, but you don't feel the heat, even when you see it in the stray passerby, in their faces, in the sweat on their lips, under their arms. Your feet hurt, but you keep walking. You carry your album of photos and don't know why. You are hungry. You stop at the entrance to the fruit shop. There's a line inside. A mother and her 2 daughters walk past you, eating berries and ice cream. You head toward the center of town. You stop at the American bookstore. It is closed. You should have remembered. It's Sunday. You still have the book of Ashbury poems back in your room in the pensione. You'll return tomorrow. You head for the Duomo. The piazza is filled with tourists, pigeons, beggars, a man on stilts, dressed as a harlequin. On the far side of the piazza, a Romani band plays Romani music. A small crowd gathers around them. You walk closer. Think about the boundaries of your body, the question of grammar, mind and body, and the question of distance. Hurting now, your feet continually hurting. You enter the covered gallery, arches, mosaic shops, a few stragglers here. You remember it is Sunday, only the tourists in this heat. Your steps echo, walking through your body, the essence. How you hear the light-footed steps around you, the light diffused, in it there the wishful radiance that takes you to the end of the gallery and out into the harsh light, absent of shield. But you must go there, the dream you had last night, you on the platform without barrier, in a sheer stocking, before you went out on the catwalk. It is all fluid and stagnant, memory caught in cycles of here and beyond, reconfigured fragments. By the time you reach Cabrera, you need to sit. You arrive at the bar where the artists gather. You look at the bronze plaque on the wall outside, since 1911. Isn't this why you are here? It is open, the bar. The front glass door is closed. The early afternoon heat is stifling. The door opens. A man in a white apron stands there, tells you to come in. You don't move. He waves you in, you enter. The place is what you might imagine. Small, dark wood furniture, white tablecloths, a piano in the corner, a bar in the front. A couple sits on the far side of the room. The man escorts you to a table by the window, hands you a menu. You study it, read each word, try to decipher the meaning of each dish. You want to order pasta. When the man returns, he asks you what you would like. You ask for water. He shakes his head. Moments later, he returns with a glass of water. You take a sip, and then another. It is not cold, but it hits your throat, esophagus. It flows through your body. The couple on the far side of the room speaks softly. The castle is not far, late afternoon. You find your way to the entrance. Before it a park, yellowing grass. You cannot imagine the future. You are young, too young, consumed by fears and desires. You cannot see beyond. You sit down on the grass in front of the castle. Tourists gather and disperse. You are tired and hungry. Dry grass scratches your bare legs. They redden from the sun and heat. How particular and strange the body is, ephemeral radiance. You are tired and hungry. You close your eyes. You know the exhibits in the museum by heart. You should wander through the exhibit of knights in armor, but you keep returning to the image of the Madonna Lita, Madonna con Bambino you saw at the Pinacoteca the day before. Why can't you shake the image, the arched windows, the mountainous landscape, the sky blue background, the woman's face in your profile, the baby nursing, looking at you? You feel chilled. How much time has passed? You look up and find a cat beside you. The cat meows, rubs against your legs and arms until you reach out. It moves away and then moves towards you, nudges your face with its nose. Years later, you will rewrite your life, reconfigure the events that shaped you. Even as you walk back to your pensione, you think about possibility, how you can consider those events, with and without your memories. Consciousness beyond you. One day you will know, one day you will find the answer. One day your memories will be written without you. How do you abandon yourself to the unknown? You dissolve the words written in ice. What emerges, a language foreign, yet known. You press the buzzer at the hotel. The door clicks open. You take the old iron elevator to the second floor. The doors to both pensioni are open. You turn to the left, pure inside the lobby. The man and woman who manage that pensione are not at the desk. The two women sit in the lounge at the table with a floral centerpiece. Come in, they say. Sit down. In the evening light, you can see them more clearly. You sit. They're drinking tea. One woman gets up, leaves the room, returns holding a cup of tea. She hands it to you. Drink, she motions. You take a sip. She gets up again and returns with a plate of biscuits. She puts the plate in front of you. You take a bite. She smiles. She stands again, puts her hand on your arm. Her grip is firm, strong. Come with me, she says. Yes, come with me. The other woman stands. They take you down the hallway. Here the first woman says. She pulls out a scale from under the small bed in the room. She leads you to it. They stand on either side of you. You don't have a choice. You step on the scale. They look down at the number, look back up at you. You see it in their eyes. They see it in you. The acknowledgement of all things broken, fragmented, waiting. Come back tomorrow, they say. Then the notes. AI says, could be slightly smoothed for readability. AI recommends. You dissolve the words written in ice. What emerges is a language, foreign yet familiar. A touch more fluid and natural. Author's response. You dissolve the words written in ice. What emerges? A language foreign yet known. A touch less fluid and natural. AI recommends. You melt the words frozen in ice. What surfaces is a language both alien and innate, as a sense of inevitability. Author's response. You dissolve the words written in ice. What emerges, a language foreign yet known, no overwrought sense of inevitability. AI recommends. You erase the words carved in ice. In their place, a language both distant and instinctive emerges. Stronger contrast between past and present. Author responds. You dissolve the words written in ice. What emerges, a language foreign yet known. The past is present. The present exists in every past. Is readability an issue? AI wants to fix your untouchable grammar, to conform to preconceived notions of perfection, to heal your fragments, to reduce repetition, as if the first is the same as the second is, as third the B is readability an issue.
Thank you, Rebecca. That just sums up so much about what I have problems with in terms of generative AI. You know, it's all too corrected, making everything machinery, and we are not. So wonderful, thank you. So I didn't forget because Greg here reminded me. We have a raffle to be done here. So thank you all very much to all the contributors. Thank you all to yourselves for as audience being here. And we'll do this raffle. So I'll pull the names out of this hat. Did everybody? Oh, this is not really a hat. Did everybody put their name in here? Okay. Yes. Randomized. So many papers. Which one feels like the one that wants to win? This one. So it feels a little anxious. Okay. This one. I think we have a winner. Yes, this one feels very, very winner-like. Justin M.
Yeah.
All right, Justin M. You may go find your free copy of Questioning AI over there. Thank you everyone so much, and I hope you stick around and talk and chat. And yeah, keep in tune with the website, louffapress.net, and let's do a group photo. Why not, right? Come on up and let's see if we can all just like huddle together and do a group photo, if you're up for it. Photo. That was lovely. Photos? Yes, the little one.
Yes.
Greg, would you mind doing the,
Not at all.
okay.
For me, say
The honors?
good night to our online audience.
Okay, yeah.